Most people hear Nietzsche's famous words, "God is dead," and assume he was celebrating atheism. A bold rejection of faith. But what if Nietzsche wasn't denying God at all? What if he was warning us about ourselves? Friedrich Nietzsche lived in the 19th century, at a time when religion was still deeply woven into everyday life in Europe. Churches filled cities, prayers guided families, and morality was seen as coming directly from God. Yet Nietzsche saw something different happening. Beneath the surface, people were drifting away from genuine faith. Science was advancing, societies were modernizing, and belief in God was fading. And that's when Nietzsche declared, "God is dead." But here's the part many people miss. Nietzsche wasn't saying he had killed God. He wasn't even saying God doesn't exist. His point was that humanity had lost its living faith. God was no longer at the center of life, but just a distant symbol we called upon when convenient. For Nietzsche, this wasn't a victory, it was a crisis. If the foundation of meaning disappears, what takes its place? Without faith, people risk falling into nihilism, the belief that life has no purpose, no value, no truth. And nihilism is dangerous, because when we lose meaning, we don't just become free. We become vulnerable to blindly following shallow values, false idols, or mass ideologies. And Nietzsche saw this coming. He feared that without God, society would replace faith with consumerism, with power, with technology, with politics, or with nothing at all. So here's the uncomfortable question: was Nietzsche right? Look around today. Many people only turn to spirituality in times of crisis. In moments of death, fear, or desperation. But when life feels comfortable, faith is forgotten. And I know this not only as an idea, but from my own life. There was a time when I gave up on God completely. After years of pain, loss, and disappointment, I finally said, "That's it. I'm done." At first, it felt like freedom. I no longer carried the weight of being watched or punished. I could breathe without guilt. But soon after, I felt something else, a deep emptiness, a void I couldn't fill. And with that emptiness came fear, because if God was gone, what could take his place? What would protect me from despair or from myself? And eventually, I realized that this is exactly what Nietzsche warned about. When we lose faith, the question isn't just whether God exists. The question is, what do we put in his place?